Hey guys, my name is Mpho Dagada and I thought I should just share some insights on how I actually live my life and just share with you and give you insights into my life. I've been thinking a lot about planning, and it started about a week ago, and I thought about planning and I thought, what is the importance of planning and why do we plan and why should we plan? I've always believed in something, and this quote is from the Bible actually. And it says, it's from the book of Proverbs, it says that if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. So if it says, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Basically put, when challenges come your way and you give up, your strength is small. And it got me to think, how do we increase our strength? If challenges come our way, and when the challenge arrives, we quit, we give up, we back down, we feel discouraged, how do we change it so that when challenges come, that doesn't happen? And I was thinking about it, thinking, how does one prepare for the future and make sure that in that future, they don't fail? That when that future arrives, their strength is not found to be small, but they actually have much strength to conquer and do well. And that's been on my mind to say, how does one actually get that right? What do you have to do to ensure that when challenges come your way, it can be sickness. It can be the day you discover that you actually don't have enough money for something that you want to do. It can be the day you're fired. It can be the day your parent passes on. It can be the day you're expecting someone to do something for you and they don't do it. It can be any crisis of life. How do you prepare? How do you build up strength for that day? And in that musing, in my thinking, I finally concluded that it's actually through planning. And that the biggest issue is that when things happen in life, people have not planned for them. And when they do happen, they've got no strength to deal with them. And the only thing they can do is they can give up, or they can regress from it, or they can plan or choose a different way. And in my thinking, I then thought, how do I plan for those days? That's what I was thinking about. Now that I know that things are going to happen in my future, how do I plan for those things and ensure that when they happen, I don't give up, or I don't regress, or I don't lose hope, or I don't feel discouraged? How do I plan for that? And in my much thinking, I came to a conclusion. Now, this is my conclusion. My conclusion for planning for these moments was to say, I need to start seeing the images of what I want to happen in my life, and I need to start seeing them and living in them as a reality. So that when the challenge does come one day that stops me from reaching that point, I would have already seen and simulated that scenario in my mind to ensure that that challenge doesn't make me quit or give up. Many people call it different things. Experts call it a vision board, some call it a storyboard, some call it a mood board, but building images that you can see and prepare for that day. So when trouble strikes, when something that you don't expect to happen is happening, your strength won't be small and you'll give up. But no, you will remember that picture you saw and you will fight to ensure that that very same picture you saw, that becomes your reality. So in the day of adversity, your strength will never be small because through the years, you've built strength because you created that image. And you'll realize as you look more into these images, there's so many different profound people who say different things, that the more you see it, the more you attract it. The more it becomes a reality. So through you building this vision board or you building these images, you're actually building your reality. And on that day when trouble strikes, because trouble will strike, it's something we must all deal with and we must all accept that trouble will strike. But the question is, what do you do when trouble strikes? Do you have enough strength for that day? It's like a marathon. If you're running a marathon, you need to prepare so that on that day you have enough strength to finish. If you're not prepared, if you don't actually run that track already, if you don't practice running that track, if you don't do it daily and ensure that you are prepared, on that day you won't be prepared. There was a test done on athletes. They put the athletes aside and they said, these athletes should only simulate the race in their mind. They shouldn't practice it physically. They should only imagine themselves running that race in their mind. And they took a second test group of different athletes, and those athletes actually practiced running the race on the field physically so. They put the two at practice. The one did it in their mind and the other group did it physically so. At the end of the practice period, the ones that did it in their mind outperformed the ones that were running on that race daily. This demonstrates the power of the mind, that life is a marathon. And if you don't practice, if you don't plan, if you don't see that image that you want to achieve, if something goes wrong, you could be derailed and find yourself falling in ways that you don't expect. But if you see that image, you simulate that image, you become, it's true, you become what you continually look at. It's a mirror. What you continually look at is a mirror of what you're actually becoming. So the more you look at what you want to achieve, the more you become it. So these are some of my insights that I live by. And it takes discipline. It takes time to collect these pictures, to create these pictures, to get them, to collect them. It takes time. There's certain pictures that I want to recreate that I can't recreate because I've never seen it happen in real life. So that means I need to actually get pictures, put them together, cut things out, join them together so I can create that reality. And once I've created that reality, I will view it every day. I will see myself in it, even when it overflows into different aspects of life. Then when I walk into a car, I begin to imagine that I'm in that car that I've always seen in my image, because that's the image that I believe to be true, the image that I saw. So these are some of my insights that I live by, and I challenge you today to start a storyboard. Even if it's this wallpaper of your cell phone, start a storyboard. Start pictures. Where you want to go in life, start putting those pictures together. Start looking at them. Start seeing yourself there. Start creating that reality in your mind. And you'll use that and see that as something that's actually going to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Comment down below and tell me about one of the things that you're going to do in taking action after seeing this video. I'd really love to know. And thank you so much for joining me.